Hey, what's going on, everybody? So I am on the Route 66 trip. This is day 7, so I've been out here for a week. Right now I am near Stillwater, Oklahoma, which is roughly 45 minutes, an hour northeast of Oklahoma City. And I thought right now would be a good time to show you what I have along this trip, how I've packed it. Let's get started. So I'm at a campground right now and it's late September, so there's nobody here. It's peaceful, it's quiet, it's a reprieve from the craziness of the highway and some of the kitschiness and the cheap hotelness of Route 66. Not to say that Route 66 is a bad thing, I'm gonna be back on it soon. I got off of it for a bit today to experience some of this nature that is part of my soul and so important to my mental health. But let me show you what I got here. So we'll start out with my tank bag. So I didn't think I would want to take my tank bag at first. It's awkward, it's bulky, doesn't make my Harley look as good as it can. That's the least important thing on a trip like this, but that's a factor sometimes. But having ridden with it on here nearly 1,300 miles in the last week, I don't even notice it anymore, except for when I need something out of it or when I have my smartphone in the top here. And that's the first thing I'll show you. So I'll have a video soon about this, but I have a SAE pigtail here attached to an SAE cable that extends underneath the seat and then underneath the tank and then up between the handlebars here, where I have a battery tender USB charger here. And then I have my cell phone charger attached to it. So the benefit of that is I could put my cell phone inside this map holder here. So occasionally I'll stray from Route 66, and occasionally Route 66 doesn't have great signage. So you either get lost or you just want to venture further away from Route 66 like I have. This allows my cell phone to stay charged while being able to see directions if I need them. And I also have directions pumped through from my phone to my Sena on my helmet. So having my cell phone here in this map holder and still being able to keep it charged up is super convenient. And inside here, there's a couple pockets. You know, I got a rag just in case I need to wipe down my bike for any reason. I had a few issues with my throttle sticking before I left, like right before I left. The morning of, actually. So I have a 10mm and a 3/8 inch wrench here so I can adjust my throttle on the fly if I need to. I haven't needed to yet, but I keep these in, I put these in here just in case I needed to. Earplugs are in here as well. And the top here, I've got all my business cards in here. And these have actually really been useful because I've given these to a lot of people along the way, and it's converted a few people into subscribers. So anybody who's received a business card and you've subscribed, thanks a lot. Now is a good time to do something that I always forget to do. Hi, my name's Joe, and I love motorcycles, travel, and talking about the philosophy of life. So if you like any one of those 3 things, go ahead and click on that subscribe button. And of course, click on that bell icon so you know when I upload videos just like this. All right, now on this side, I've just got a few useful things. Got some zip ties and some of these Velcro straps here in case I need to strap anything on my bike or cords or cables or anything. There's a front pocket here too that I just keep change in. Nothing too important down there. And the usefulness of this is, well, I got baby wipes in here, and if you are an outdoors person at all, you understand how useful those are. I've got straps in here, I've got my wallet in here, I got an apple, I got my Gerber tool in there, I got more straps in there, but this is also where I keep my camera equipment. So these 2 pockets here I've got an extra GoPro battery, I've got the cables to connect my GoPros to the computer, and the Tascam PCM recorder that I'm using now to record my voice. I have that cable in here too to connect to the computer. So I know where this stuff is at all times. Keep a pen here. Of course, the tire pressure gauge is really important, and lip balm is in there. So this thing, while it looks dorky, it's extraordinarily useful. So I've got several bags here and several things attached to these bags. So the main bag is the Kiriakin Vagabond. And I also have this Kiriakin, this back kind of tubular style bag. And I got them all strapped down pretty tightly. I had to get new straps just to hold it in place really well. Inside this orange stuff sack, I have my tent, which includes the rain fly, the footprint, and the tent itself, and some stakes. But I also have my sleeping bag in here as well. We'll go ahead and go through that stuff in a little bit. And in here are the tent poles. On top here now is my sleeping pad. It's a Thermarest and it's quite comfortable, self-inflating, with a little bit of encouragement. And you see what I mean in just a little bit. This is a nice campsite. And on back here, I've got several things. Now, I bought this 1 gallon fuel container because I will need something to get me through some of those long stretches where my tank won't be large enough to carry enough fuel. And inside here, I just have some clothing, some coffee, and all my cooking stuff. So this fits quite a bit. And some food. And carry this to the table. And I'm gonna carry in all my articles of clothing, clean or dirty, because they double as my pillow. Down on the bottom here, I have winter clothing. I got a winter cap in there, winter gloves. I've got my fly racing heated gloves, and those will come in handy when it gets really cold. I haven't had to use them yet because it's been pretty warm, but. And on this side, I have some hard drives that I need for uploading content for the channel. And on this side, I've got some extra rope in case I need to hang something, clothesline, or what I'll probably use it for tonight is the hammock. All right, so the top pocket here, I've just got food in here, oatmeal and stuff, all my food that I need quick access to. I used to keep my tools in there, but back here was a better match for that because they're heavy and opening this was more challenging. So putting the tools down there, much better plan. All right, let's get this thing open and show you what's inside here. All right, first up, we've got this backpack, which has my laptop in it and another external hard drive, and of course, the ever important for motivation, Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. If you haven't read it, Robert Pirsig, it's a brilliant book. Just a few other important things in here. Sandals, which I'll put on in a little bit. Ratcheting strap in case I need it. Fuel. I use this in the morning to heat water for coffee. What else? Let's see. Just extra recording equipment in this stuff sack. This stuff sack's broken, and this is an old REI one that I bought probably, I don't know, quite a while ago. Here's my hammock that I may use in a little bit. Laundry stuff, more clothes, and that's it. This thing has been really handy. At first I didn't like it. I shouldn't say that. At first I didn't love it, but it's held up. It's done exactly what I needed it to do during this trip. So I cannot complain. I'll have a 100% full review once my Route 66 trip is done on this Kiriakin Vagabond bag. And what I do at night is I don't even detach these at all. Later on in the trip, I want to check my sissy bar to make sure it's still supporting everything it needs to support. Right now, it seems pretty good. But I'll take everything off and I'll check out the sissy bar, make sure I tighten up the bolts and make sure everything is attached so nothing falls off while I'm riding. But right now it seems pretty good, so I'm not gonna take these off. I'll leave these on at night. The other day in the rain, actually, I will say this. Inside down here is a rain fly underneath here. And the other day, I had a bunch of stuff in here and I folded this down, strapped it down like this. And then I put the rain fly on the front Kiriakin bag. Everything stayed dry. The top of this bag was a little wet, and but everything inside stayed dry, inside both of them. And I didn't want to keep everything inside the tent because I was afraid that with the rainstorm that I knew was coming that evening, 2 nights ago, that everything would get pretty wet if I left it in the tent, or there's a possibility that everything would get wet if I left it in the tent. So I kept some things out here and it stayed really, really dry. All right, I think it's time to set up the tent. Ground feels a little wet, so I'm definitely gonna be using the footprint, but there's an anthill there, so I don't wanna set it there. Right here looks good. Here's the tent itself, the fly, sleeping bag, footprint. Now there's a philosophy that says you should not bunch up your tent and stuff it in a stuff sack like this. Some believe that it reduces the life of the tent. That's probably true, but when you are a backpacker or when you are a cyclist or you're on a motorcycle with all those 3 things where you have limited space and you want to reduce weight, rolling it up sometimes occupies more space than if you were to stuff it in there. There are campers and hikers and backpackers and cyclists who swear that this will ruin your tent, reduce the life of it. I'm not one of them. I've used a lot of different tents and packed them this way for 2 decades and have not had issues. Yes, I bought new tents, but I've gotten quite a bit of life out of some of my tents, 15 years for one of them. This tent, actually, it's the MSR Hubba, and I bought this one off of eBay about 2 years ago. This is like a $450 tent. It's a lot of money to pay for a 1-person tent, but I bought it off eBay for like 150 bucks. There's deals out there if you do the homework to find them. Let's start with the footprint. What do I love about this tent? It's lightweight and it really keeps me dry, especially because this fly gets so taut. It's just perfect. It just keeps the rain right off of you outside of the tent. Anytime I'm using this tent and it's pouring and the next morning I take the tent down, there's a big dry spot right where I slept. It's perfect. What don't I like about it? The poles are prone to breakage because they're lightweight and easy to break, and this is a small tent, but as part of backpacking, that's part of lightweight touring, or even riding on a motorcycle. If you want to keep weight down, there's compromises to be made, and one of those compromises could potentially be a smaller tent. If you're alone, it's tight in here, but it's still enough room. It's not enough room if you want to be in here along with your gear. Like, say it's raining out or you're worried about some of your gear being stolen and you want to keep it in your tent. You can't do that really with this tent. I've toured quite a bit solo with a 2-person tent, and that affords me enough space for myself and for my gear. But with this trip, I just decided to go with the 1-person tent, and it's worked out for me so far. This is my Thermarest sleeping pad. It's supposedly self-inflating. And it does it a little bit. It just takes a while. And before I go to sleep, it needs a little coaxing with me blowing a little bit of air in it. So next 20 minutes or so, I'll let this self-inflate inside the tent. And then after those 20 minutes are up or so, I'll go ahead and breathe a little bit more life into it with my own lungs. Now this sleeping bag, I absolutely love. This is a Serria Designs sleeping bag. If there's anywhere in your camping gear that I would say, go ahead and spend a lot of money on, it's your sleeping bag. Because being too warm or too cold while you're camping can make or break your trip, really. But this sleeping bag has probably traveled with me by bicycle and motorcycle more miles than I can count, and I take really good care of this, and I love this bag. Bag's important. Make sure you, if you're gonna spend the money, go ahead and spend the money on your sleeping bag. So that's it for camp setup.